Every company talks about AI, but very few know how to use it. Tools get bought, pilots get launched, but adoption stalls and value disappears. That's where Winning Team AI steps in. We turn AI from potential into performance, from curiosity into capability. We design the strategy, build the systems, train the teams, and embed AI where real work gets done. This isn't experimentation. This is execution. Winning Team AI. Build faster. Adopt smarter. Win with AI.
All right, let's talk about a challenge that pretty much every business is facing right now. How do you get real, actual results from AI, and not just, the hype? Today, we're going to dig into a new kind of control tower tool from Winning Team AI that's specifically designed to turn all that ambition into outcomes you can actually measure. Let's get into it.
This question right here, this is the one that's keeping executives up at night. It's that massive, frustrating gap between buying all the latest AI software and then, well, not seeing any real value from it. We're about to break down a practical answer that helps you move past the buzzwords and get straight to execution.
So first things first, let's really define the problem we're talking about with AI strategy. It often boils down to just chaos and confusion. Most companies really struggle because they just don't have a central nervous system for all their AI efforts, which unsurprisingly leads to this.
So what does this look like in the real world? It's a mess. You've got the operations team trying one thing, the finance team is off experimenting with something else, and maybe HR is dabbling in their own project. It creates all these random pilots and totally disconnected efforts. There's just no unified view of what's going on, which means it is literally impossible to measure the return on investment. All you're left with are these abstract slogans about AI transformation, instead of real concrete actions. Okay, so how do you even begin to fix that kind of chaos? Well, the solution is to have some sort of strategic control tower for all things AI. Let's take a look at how the Strategic Adoption Assistant from Winning Team AI provides that central command. Now, this is the crucial point. It's not just another dashboard. You really should think of it more like a virtual AI transformation coach. It's a platform that literally walks an organization step by step, all the way from just thinking about AI to being able to clearly show how it's impacting revenue, costs, and productivity. What I love about this is just how stark the contrast is. I mean, look at this. On the left, you've got the old way, random pilots and slide decks that get forgotten after one meeting. But on the right, you have the new way, a guided roadmap with ROI you can actually measure. This thing basically turns your AI strategy into a living, breathing operating system that's focused on practical, daily action. So how exactly does this platform deliver on that big promise? Well, it's not just a random collection of features. It's a really structured process. Let's break down the four-step journey it uses to take a company from just having ideas to actually making an impact. It all kicks off with step 1, assess. The platform evaluates your people, your data, your culture, the whole shebang, to give you a baseline readiness score. Then comes step 2, prioritize, where it helps you identify the AI opportunities that are going to have the biggest impact, so no more guesswork. From there, step 3 is the roadmap. It automatically generates your action plan with clear owners and metrics. And finally, step 4 is all about continuously improving, using a built-in AI copilot to track progress and help you refine your strategy over time.
Okay, so that's the process. But what about the proof? Let's dive into a couple of real-world case studies to see how this journey takes companies from that chaos we were talking about earlier to some real clarity and serious business value.
First up, we've got a manufacturer with about 500 employees. And they were the perfect example of that random pilots problem we discussed. You had different teams experimenting with AI all over the place, but the leadership had absolutely zero visibility into what was actually going on.
And this just brilliantly shows the platform's impact. So, the problem: 9 different disconnected experiments. The action? They used the tool to assess everything and then narrowed those 9 down to just 3 high-impact use cases. And the result? A clear 12-month aligned roadmap. They had fewer overlapping efforts and much clearer ownership. For the first time, the COO could go brief the board with a concrete plan.
Now let's look at another angle, because it's not just for operations or finance. A growing tech company actually used the platform to tackle a totally different kind of problem: AI upskilling and governance for their own people.
The problem here was all about people. Employees just weren't confident using AI because there were no rules, no guardrails. So the HR team used the platform to assess their policy gaps and build a roadmap for upskilling. The result was amazing. Clear usage guidelines, training sessions, even a central prompt library. All of this led to a workforce that was finally confident and secure in using AI effectively.
So what these case studies really start to highlight is a supercritical distinction. To really succeed with AI, it's just not enough to simply do AI tasks. You have to be able to orchestrate the entire transformation. So this is the key point. Look, there are tons of AI tools out there that focus on doing the work. Writing, coding, summarizing data. That's everything in the left column. But very, very few tools focus on orchestrating the transformation, which is everything you see over there on the right. We're talking about gaining visibility, improving governance, defining the strategy, and actually measuring success. And that right there is the gap that the Strategic Adoption Assistant is designed to fill. And that brings us to one final, really critical question I want you to think about. Is your organization's AI strategy a coherent, measurable plan, or is it just a disconnected pile of pilots? Because the difference between those two is truly the difference between hype and results. Thanks for tuning in.
Every company talks about AI, but very few know how to use it. Tools get bought, pilots get launched, but adoption stalls and value disappears. That's where Winning Team AI steps in. We turn AI from potential into performance, from curiosity into capability. We design the strategy, build the systems, train the teams, and embed AI where real work gets done. This isn't experimentation. This is execution. Winning Team AI. Build faster. Adopt smarter. Win with AI.